time for anybody, but I guess as a content deliverer, someone that can create content on the fly,
Yeah.
you know, in your world, nothing really changes from a work capacity other than going out. Are you in LA right now?
Yeah, we're in LA. Yeah, man. We talked about it on the podcast. We are blessed that we have a job that doesn't require us to change much. Like all we do is shoot and record dumb shit around the house, and we're still doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Obviously, mad times. What's your thoughts on everything right now? I mean, like from a guy from the UK, we're watching Trump every day. Like one day it's irrelevant, it's not really that big. Next it's a national disaster. Like it just seems like total chaos right now worldwide.
No, it absolutely is. We were talking about it last night in the house, and like I was trying to think of the last event that had affected the entire planet, like everyone in the world. And I don't know, even like a world war, like not all countries were involved in that, or a horrific like terrorist attack. Some countries don't even know about it,
Isn't it? It's like normally you can get away somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like
somewhere,
you can't go anywhere. Like you can't fly anywhere. It's like that's safe. Go there. That's not affected by it, or it hasn't hit there. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. So like, I definitely think this will go down in the books as a very significant event in all of our lives. And I honestly just can't believe it's happening. But whatever, we're doing what we can.
We've only got 3 or 4 minutes. I want to talk a little bit of boxing, Logan, because a lot of my followers, hardcore boxing fans, we know I took a lot of heat for doing the fight. I loved it. I got to say, I loved working with you in KSI. I thought the energy was amazing.
Yeah.
The press conferences were what I learned so much about your world. But I also have to have respect for you guys because you trained hard, and it was arguably the best fight of the night. You know, and it was good, and it was close. Like we know it could have gone either way. When you look back on that experience in November last year, do you reflect on that fondly? I mean, obviously it was the second one that you've done, but how did you find it all?
I mean, the whole thing changed my life. Like boxing changed my life. It took me out of the rut I was in after the Tokyo thing. And like, I have to give props to you for taking the bet on 2 YouTubers. I think KSI and I just both happen to be crazy enough to devote quite literally all our time to try to become a boxer anyways. And yeah, man, like for the rest of my life, boxing is now going to be like a staple of my operation. I still box to this day, and hopefully we can get together and do it again.
Is there hunger from you to do it again? Like obviously we know that you have the ability to make money on any crazy sort of thing that you do, and we know that would generate a lot of money, another fight with you. But is there an element of almost like a semi-addiction to the training and the buzz and wanting to do it again and actually get in there and win?
Yeah, I ask people, or when people ask me like what I think about boxing, I go, unfortunately, like I'm addicted to it because it's a dangerous sport, which is why it's so exciting. And so, you know, I do have a lot of ways to make money, but boxing it tends to be the most fun, and I have that taste in my mouth. I have that yearning to get a W. Like I need to win one. So I'll be back.
One fight that everybody knows, you know, speaking from us and DAZN and, you know, the reaction from the people is the Antonio Brown fight. Very different in that, obviously, you and KSI, 2 YouTubers, the biggest in what you do. But this fight, just reaching out to a new audience, of course, you know, American football fans, which is a huge, huge number. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the Antonio Brown fight? I mean, we spoke to him, we spoke to his people. We wanted a crazy amount of money, you know. Are you motivated by that fight? Do you think that's an interesting fight for you because you don't like that anymore?
Nah. I was for a bit, and then I realized like Antonio Brown's just clinging onto my name to get some clout for a second while he tries to figure out his life. And when I realized that he's actually not interested in fighting me, probably because he doesn't want to lose, and I'm confident that I'd beat the shit out of him, I kind of backed off.
Two more questions. One is, we know you have a wrestling background. Right?
Yeah.
And I would actually like to move into MMA myself. Definitely not doing it, but promoting it. Can we do something? Let's launch Matchroom USA in MMA, Logan Paul in MMA. Is there an MMA fight in you as well? And do you think that that's actually, you'd probably be underrated in that discipline because of your background?
That's my secret, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my shit. I need to do one MMA fight before I die, and I'd love to do it with Matchroom Boxing or Matchroom MMA is
Whatever you want to call it. Matchroom
yeah.
Paul. You know.
Matchroom Paul, amazing. Yeah, yeah. I have to do one. We just gotta find the.
We saw your brother. He tore apart Anderson Gibb in Miami. Was, as they say in the sport, easy work, light work. KSI Jake Paul. Is that, I mean, something you guys want to see? I get messages about it all the time. And actually, I think he may go into that fight as a favourite as well. Do you think there's a chance that fight happens?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. It's on JJ. Like I don't know what he's doing, what he's planning on doing. I know he's making music right now, and you know, Jake wants to do it. I think it'd be a great fight. I also think Jake would take the W on that one, but it just depends if KSI is done with boxing for good or not.
Well, mate, listen, it was a pleasure catching up with you. I really appreciate you coming on. Look forward to catching up with you and talking business when this is all over. Stay safe.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you, Eddie.
Cheers, Logan. Bye, mate. Bye.
Peace, homie.
Do you know what? Right, I've got to say, I really like Logan Paul. I think, like, I've spent a lot of time with him now. When I met him, I have to be honest with you, I thought, this geezer's not sure about this guy. He's super bright. He's a decent guy. And he's always working. He's always thinking. I like Logan Paul. I really do. And I think I'm going to give him an MMA fight, to be honest with you. Anyway, we're going to move on. We're doing unbelievable on time right now. Unbelievable. This is like clockwork. We're going to go to Gabe Rosado now. One guy who was giving us entertaining fight after entertaining fight. We had Danny Jacobs on recently, giving a little bit of beef off about Mr. Rosado. And we're going to try and find Gabe Rosado in the house. He's going to be over in LA as well. Okay, Gabe Rosado. Here he is. We're all good. We're like, we've got Gabe Rosado, then with Joseph Parker, and then we're done. We are done. Yo.
What's up?
How we doing, boss?
Good, man. Chilling.
LA? Philly?
No, man, I'm in LA.
How's quarantine treating you?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. My time schedule's all messed up. I'm used to getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm getting up like at 11,
I know.
12.
So am I. I've been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
How's that crazy. Gym down? How's the gym down there? How's it been for business? Because obviously it's crippling for so many businesses. But you've just started up a great new gym in LA. You were flying.
Yeah.
I saw all your social media stuff. It was packed all the time.
No,
typical,
the gym, man, it was doing great. I mean, right now it's on hold, but it was doing great, man. You know, staying busy with it. It's one of those gyms where it's not really for boxers. It's more just the average folks that just you know get off from work, come to the gym. So it's dope.
Last time out was, I think, forgettable. In that,
yeah.
For the people who don't know, basically, Gabe was standing by to fight Danny Jacobs because Julio Cesar Chavez is fucking crazy as shit. Right?
Yeah.
So we always felt that actually Danny Jacobs would probably end up fighting Gabe Rosado. So Gabe was standing by. He was going to have a little 8-rounder on the card just in case he didn't fight Danny Jacobs. Anyway, somehow, some way, Julio Cesar Chavez finds his way into the fight. So Gabe's in not much of a fight.
And he paid an extra $1 million.
Not me. Chavez did.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to get Gabe on early, right? So Gabe comes to me and says, listen, why am I on so early? I said, well, listen, there's such a packed card. You're in an 8-rounder. What I could do is we could float
I was actually a 10-rounder.
10-rounder. I could float you and we'll fit you in. There's going to be stoppages, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, of course, there isn't really a lot of stoppages. And Gabe sits there for about 6 hours waiting to fight. Danny Jacobs goes out. The madness ensues. The beers come flying in the ring. Like the whole ring is covered in Tecate, right?
Yeah.
And the commission say to me, no, we're done for the night. Gabe's sitting there. I think by then, even by that point, you were like, do you know what? Maybe I'll just go home. I said to the commission, listen, give it 5 minutes. let Gabe fight. You know, he's been training, and I wanted you to have the win to get the win to come back, because we know we're talking about world championship fights.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, you go out there. There was about 20 people there. Everyone's gone, and I'm doing the media backstage, and I'm popping out and watching. It goes the 8 rounds, and I see you coming back, and I was just like, oh no. And you're like, yo, Eddie, what the fuck, man? Yeah, I was like, mate, I just got to go and see someone. Wait a minute. But listen, I was pleased that you got out and got the win. You needed that win on your record coming off the Selecki defeat. But we want to talk that you've given unbelievable entertainment over the years. We feel like you still have a lot left in the sport. I want to go straight into the Daniel Jacobs question. Firstly, where does that beef come from? I saw something with you two on an escalator ages ago, but you two aren't like massive on beef. Do you know what I mean? Like Danny, I never really see Danny lose his head. The other night, I gave him the list of all the world champions at 68, and he says he wants to fight you.
Yeah.
So where does this come from?
I think it comes from with 2 East Coast guys. He's from Brooklyn. I'm from Philly. And me and him were supposed to fight years ago. It was way back from when I fought Peter Quillen for the world title, which was a fight I was winning and got stopped on cuts at the end. He was up to fight the winner. And then it kind of just stirred from there, where we were supposed to fight and it never happened. And then I said some things about him that he didn't like on, I called him a bootleg Andre Ward. He didn't like that. And then, so he threw shots back, and then that's just where it came from. But, I've been calling him out, been wanting to fight. I think the fight is huge just in boxing, period, but especially if it was in the East Coast, being he's from Brooklyn. I've headlined in Brooklyn and in Madison Square Garden, so I have a big fan base in his hometown. So it's just
well, listen, all we could do it in Philly. I spoke to him the other day. He said he was happy to come to Philly as well. Great atmosphere.
You saw the crowd was Selecki.
Oh man, that was unbelievable. That was one of my favourite fights of the year. You and Selecki. The atmosphere was unbelievable. But I agree. I think you against Danny Jacobs in New York or in Philadelphia goes well.
For sure.
You confident in that fight? I mean, look, he's a 2-time world champion. Moved to 168. You're not really a 168, Gabe, but like he's moving there. You know.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing. Me and Jacobs, we did a camp years ago in Poconos, in the Poconos in PA, and I kind of see his style. I've seen him throughout the years. I feel like, especially now, I'm with Freddie Roach now. Freddie Roach is just we had a great camp. We were preparing as if we were fighting Jacobs, thinking that Chavez would come out. So we had a great camp. Great sparring. I feel great at 68. I feel a lot stronger at 68 now that I don't have to cut down. I walk around like 85. So for me to get down to 60, it takes a lot of work. So I like my chances with anyone at 68 right now. At 68 is loaded. So you got Smith, you got Saunders, and you got Canelo, everybody, man. So I think with Freddie Roach, man, we're ready for whoever at the division.
You've been around boxing, you know boxing inside out. When we talk about that 68 division and we look at the champions, I'm going to give you those 4 world champions: Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Benavidez, and Caleb Plant. Starting with number 4, the weakest, I want you to rank those 4 champions for me. And don't sit on the fence.
I would say number 4, because he's inconsistent, is Saunders.
Okay.
Saunders is the most beatable out of all of them because he's inconsistent and he's just everywhere. And this is I would put Saunders 4. I would put Plant 3.
Yeah.
Even though I like Plant a lot, but he hasn't fought, really a big name. Then I'll put Benavidez, and then I'll put Smith.
Smith number 1.
Yeah. I really wouldn't consider Canelo the top guy because Canelo's holding the interim. And Smith holds the world title.
Yeah, 2 big guys. Smith and Benavidez, two monsters at 68 as well. 2 massive guys. I love that fight.
Benavidez is a really good fighter, but he's still young, so there's a lot of learning he has to do. But he's a good fighter. But yeah, I would put Saunders 4 just because he's very inconsistent. But Saunders has skills.
He might start calling you out now if you put him number 4. He won't like that.
we were supposed to fight.
That's right. Yeah.
On the Paul fight, on the Paul card.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just didn't work out.
That's why we needed to get you to win. You're right. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But
Listen, So
Yeah,
for you, hopefully we get through this soon, and we look to make that Jacobs fight on the East Coast. When we talk about your
yeah,
career, Gabe, you've had some amazing fights, some amazing
thanks.
nights, but you
Yeah,
just keep
yeah,
kind of reinventing yourself. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like it's like, oh,
yeah,
Rosado's done, then he comes back, gets a couple of good wins. I mean, you lost
yeah,
against Sulecki in a very tight fight, and in fact, if you would have
yeah,
started better, you would have won that fight
yeah, yeah,
comfortably. But what's
yeah.
left? What's left for Gabe Rosado? What does the future look like over the next
I,
couple of years? You've given a lot to the sport.
I think it's going on 15 years pro, which is crazy, right? So Bernard Hopkins says you're lucky to have 10 years. So just to have 15 is insane. But I think I'm sharp, the experience, and then I think now bringing in Freddie into this next chapter, I think is going to open everything up. I think for sure we're going to surprise the 68 division. I mean, I see my goal is to win a world title against whoever it is. I think at my A game, I can definitely do it. I'm my worst enemy, honestly. Any fight that I've lost, it wasn't like I got, dominated. There were fights that were close, bad decisions or cuts or things like that. So it wasn't like I was ever, maybe a Golovkin fight was a fight where he definitely got the best of me. It was a Golovkin in his prime. But other than that, man, I've always been in a fight. I think it's just up to me to just staying focused, staying sharp, having a good camp, and then bringing in a trainer like Freddie, who pretty much controls the camp. I'm a control freak. So if you allow me to control the camp, I'm going to call the shots, and it's going to be the way I'm going to do it. With Freddie, it was my first time doing a camp with Freddie where I literally just did whatever he wanted. No entourage, no nothing. It was just me and Freddie. So that was kind of like something new where I went into the fight just feeling great, So it was just a different look. So I think we're going to see Gabriel Rosado win a world title.
Good stuff.
Hopefully this year.
Well,
we'll
I
see.
think the UV Jacobs is a good chance of happening, and I think the winner of that fight has to go and fight for a world title. So listen, it's been a pleasure having you on, my friend. Stay safe
For
over
sure.
there. We'll catch up
You
soon.
stay safe. Oh,
go.
And prayers to your father as well.
Thank you, mate. No, he's good. Oh, Daniel Jacobs has just come on and done a laughing face at you. Any last words? Any last words?
Listen, I will knock out Daniel Jacobs if the fight happens, because I can beat Daniel Jacobs. I see a lot of flaws in his game. I think he's more hyped than anything. I like the guy, but I don't think he's what they make him out to be. So I would definitely like to fight Jacobs to knock him out and do what Canelo didn't do or G didn't do. So definitely.
Okay. Right, well, I'm sure he'll respond in due course, and we'll speak soon.
All right, for sure.
Cheers, Gabe. Take care, mate.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Listen, I like Jacobs against. There he is, Scrub. Oh, you missed it. I love Jacobs against Rosado, and I like it on the East Coast. I like the build-up. I like the fight. I like everything. So we'll see when we're back up and running. It's a fight we'll definitely look to make. I know Danny Jacobs wants Callum Smith and other world champs. We've got one more guest. The guy at the moment has been causing waves on social media. One of the nicest guys you ever meet. One of the best heavyweights in the world, Joseph Parker. Going to try and find him. Bang, straight in. Look, his clockwork, 10-2. This guy has woken up at 6:50 in the morning in New Zealand to speak to us. Yo!
Good morning.
Is it really 6:50 a.m.?
6:50 a.m. New Zealand time.
I've got to say, I'm very impressed. I spoke to the guys yesterday. I was like, look, we've got to get Joseph Parker on. They said, well, it's going to be like 6:50 in the morning. You come back, I'll be up, I'll be ready. And how's New Zealand? We were just talking about one of the guys saying that this corona thing is obviously crazy because it's affecting every single country worldwide. There isn't anywhere that isn't affected by this. What's the procedure like over there right now? Is it lockdown? Is it self isolation? Is it social distancing?
I think we've been locked down since it started. I mean, we've been locked down nearly 3 weeks. I haven't even left the house, and I'm pretty lucky that I have a gym here at home. I got a treadmill and bike and weights, and so I'm keeping in shape. But New Zealand is on lockdown, and I think hopefully it passes soon. I'm eager to fight, and I've been training and keeping in shape. So,
well, you're lucky in a way, Joe, because I just said to Mikey Garcia, who we had on earlier, you were like the last card in the US.
Yeah, we were
to get through, and with your inactivity because of your illness, if you would have missed, you know, if we wouldn't have got that date and you missed this, you've been now looking on to July and August. Do you know what I mean? It would have been over a year since you were out of the ring. So although you're looking to get in back as soon as possible, you have got the benefit of you didn't fight too far ago.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying to people. I think I said it was a blessing to actually fight in the beginning of the year after a slow 2019, getting a fight at the beginning of the year, and then look at what's happened. And there's there's a lot of cards or a lot of fights that were meant to happen. Now they're all postponed and moved. So hopefully when this passes, those fights can be take place, and then we can sort of jump on a card as soon as we can.
Let's talk about that last fight with Shaundell Winters. I thought it was a good performance. I think a lot of people underrated underrated Shaundell Winters, and I think he came to fight for sure. And once you got into your flow, I thought it was a good performance. I thought it was sharp, explosive, great finish. Were you pleased with the performance?
Yeah, listen, you're always pleased with with a win, and then you're pleased when you get a good win in incredible fashion. And I think that's what captures the attention is the knockout. So I think, like you said, once I slowed it down and sort of picked my shots, the knockout did come. So I was happy with the knockout. Very happy.
Obviously, now moving forward, I think we know. Speaking to you, speaking to Dave Higgins, we want that big fight now. It's an absolute must that your next fight is a big fight. For me, I would still love to see the fight with you and Derek Chisora. Obviously, he's going to fight Usyk. Was May 23rd. That's now postponed. Who have you got your eye on in the division right now? Of course, there's a big potential fight for you in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, there's what do you think? What do you think is next?
Do you know what?
As one of the best promoters in the world, what can you do?
Firstly, obviously, the best promoter in the world, Joe, not one.
Oh, okay.
I think that's very important, mate. Thank you, mate. But I think that I love the fight. I've got a complete mental block of your New Zealand compatriot, heavyweight, unbeaten heavyweight,
Junior Far.
Junior Far. For me, like when we talk about the Junior Far fight, I like the Junior Far fight for New Zealand, for us to come over and do something different over there. Yeah. We know we've been talking about launching Matchroom in New Zealand and Australia with you and Dave and all that kind of stuff. I think that's an interesting fight for New Zealand. For me, I want to move you towards a World Heavyweight Championship shot. And I think you look at the division right now, I love the fight with you and Luis Ortiz. I love the fight. I love the rematch with Dillian White. White rematch. I even like the Andy Ruiz rematch, to be honest with you. You've got Hergovic, he's up there making moves. You've got Michael Hunter. You've got Alexander. You and Povetkin's a great fight as well. We'll see what happens.
Isn't it fair to say that there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of fights that we can make? There
is, and I think that now, when we return to boxing, every sport is going to be trying to capture the attention and the space. So if we don't come back and start making major fights, like fights people want to see, and for me, there's going to be so much congestion of fighters looking to get out. The ones that are ready to step up in the big fights, they're the ones that are going to come back ASAP. Do you know what I mean? And the heavyweight division, the heavyweight division's on fire. I would actually like to see you and Ruiz again. I know that obviously you beat him first time out, but I think that Andy Ruiz is going to be in a lot of interesting fights.
I think so too. After that win with Joshua and then losing again, but hopefully he keeps in shape. And I mean, it's life changing, those fights for him. And I still think he can give a lot to the sport. I mean, sit down with Kevin, David, and you, and if it makes sense for us to fight him, we'll fight him. We'll fight anyone.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, I know you're up for the big fights. I want to talk about your latest social media explosion, right? I mean, who is filming these things? Because who is cutting and editing? They're like top quality. I want to get these TV execs in my life.
My bubble is my partner, my kids, and then my sister and my good friend Kerry Russell does the groceries for us, right? And he's the one that's filming, ideas, editing, and he also does the groceries. So he's the man behind. I call him the magic man because he's made some magic happen.
Mate, it's unbelievable. People are actually.
I think I asked you to jump in one of the videos.
Yeah, do you know what? I know. I should have jumped in there. I was gutted when I saw it. You had Buffer, you had Tyson Fury, and everything. When's the next one coming?
As soon as he comes up with an idea, we'll start filming again. There's nothing else to do. I mean, we're stuck at home, kids time, training, and then we've got a lot of time to film.
Yeah, No, I agree. I agree. We'll talk about the heavyweight landscape, Joe, as well. And you're right up there, certainly in the top 5, 6 fighters as well. Couple of fights that are due to take place. I just want to get your quick opinion on them. White against Povetkin. Do you see Dillian White coming through that fight?
Yeah, I see Dillian. You know, isn't it sort of like the challenge of the left hooks? They both got good left hooks, and I see Dillian coming through because they're young, hungry. I think Povetkin's been around for a while, but I think he's slowing down.
Do you think Usyk is just too good for Chisora, or do you think up at that weight, Chisora is going to be a pest for him and going to cause him troubles?
I think Usyk was the first fight was a good welcoming fight for him into the heavyweight division, but I see him with his the skills, you know, and he's got a variety of punches and very technical fighter. I think he'll beat Chisora.
AJ against Pulev, good fight. Back for AJ.
Good fight.
You fancy?
Yeah, I think that fight. Yeah, that fight was being promoted a while ago, right? And then Pulev obviously pulled out for some reason. So I think that fight AJ will come on top. You know, he's always improving, getting better as a fighter as well, and as a champion. And
the Fury Wilder rematch, you see Fury same way?
I just see Fury dominating, yeah. I think three fights. I think he won the first fight. Second fight, obviously, he destroyed him. And I think the third fight will be the same result.
Well, Joe, I appreciate you coming on so early, mate. Just a quick message to everyone. We've got about 30 seconds before I get cut off for the hour. We know you're going to be back in a big fight this year. Quick message to your old fans and your new fans all around the world.
Message, thank you for the support. Hope everyone's keeping safe and keeping well. And tune in for the next videos that we're going to be planning.
We look forward to that, Joe.
Eddie might be in them.
Oh, mate, I'm ready. I'm ready this time.
All right.
Mate, it's great to talk to you. Thanks for getting up for us.